Every Tuesday at 7:30, as always, we meet here on the Sportilicious, the show that celebrates the champions, reflect back on sports history, celebrate the participation of women in sports, not forgetting the discovery of new sport. My name is Bukamoso Iknosi, and we continue to ensure that we update you, we inform you, we educate you on what's currently happening in the blue, black, and white. And moving on, in the first segment of the champion this week, we celebrate Sesebo Matape, a long-distance runner yo leng gore ka ga eno ta ba re bolla hela ya loleto la gagwe in athletics.
My name is Sesebo Matlapeng. Ke tswa ko Mochudi. Ke na le dingwaga di le 30. Ke motabogi wa mabelo a malele. Ke dira la club e nngwe bidiwa go Fika Athletics Club mo Gaborone. Tota my talented sala ke discover le ke sentse ke le ko primary. When I was doing standard 7, ke le a sprinter. Ke taba 100 le 200 meters. Ne ke khona go wela mo di-position tse ne di nametsa thata cause nako tse le kana ne go taboga ka di-position o sa taboge ka nako. So ne ke khona go wela mo position mo top 3 mo sekolong. So e rile ha ke tsena go junioring, then ke khona go hileng ka tswela ka ira ka mabelo a matele cause kana go junioring kopana le batho ba farologane ba tsong go di area tse di farologane. So ne ke sa khone go make a gona go tsena mo top 5 kana then me kira ango ke mo lebelo la amale ke se mo tseng ke taboga lebelo le bidiwa go te go mbeko le bidiwa go te 1.5 rena go primary ne re bitsa re 3 and 3/4. So ke simolla ka lone mme pele ha ke tla simolla 100 meters le 200 kana ne ke motho go swa gore ne ke le motho wa asthma ne ke hupela. So ne ke le motho ne ke rata sports tota le ha ne re le go school re tshameka ne ke sa dumele mo gore ke ka dira bo football kana mo ne itlhela go tshameka ke bana re le go school kana re le bana ne re rata mo itlhela go te di kick o tla wa raga mo matleng ka kick. So nna ne ke rata gore a go ke ire sengwe gore khono o nkobe re leleke ke gone ya ka ne ke enjoy gono. So e rile ke tsena go junioring ke bala form 1 ke ne ka gona di house ga go ntse di house mme ke ne a re ka kgona tsena mo lebelo la 3 and 3/4 ke sia ma form 2 le ma form 3. By that time me ne ke taboga ka now, so ke sa kgone go hetela go di round tse dingwe cause maota kana a di blister. Then e rile season e tlang ga ke bala form 2 gape ke boa ke dira ke taboga gape ke fella gape gono go ile ene kanya ya di blister. Then a ke bala form 3 be ke ra no o itse gore ke sentse re ke tswa ka plan ya gore ke bone gore ke ire yang. Sports se nthusitse thata mo maswe cause ke kgonne go kopana le batho ba bantsintsi le ba ne le gore ne ke sa solela gore nka kopana le bone mo botshelong baka. Ene ke sone se se hirileng gore e be ke heletse ke na le passport go ngwa ke riana ngebe ke sena passport ya. So se nthutile dilo tse dintsintsi ela di challenges tse ke kopana le tsone ke gore kana ha o simolla athletics dingalo ke sports se le gore se dingalo ke in individual individual code of. So you'll find out gore o batla go di competitioning o sontse ro nne le madi a transport, sontse ro nne le madi accommodation, o sontse ro ene dilo tseo o itlhela gantse o di kopa mo batsading. So o itlhela ga go le bokete thata o lebile ga go lapeng le a go le sa itsholela thata. So itlhela go le dingalo to, so go batla ntse o na le sponsor kana mo ka go thusa. So ke tsone dikgwetlho tse leng gore o kopana le tsone mo athletics. Mo dingwageng nyana tse di tota ke ngwago wa 2024 ke batla go ipona game tse lefatshe la Botswana go di-game tsa di-Olympic tse di tlabe di tshwaretse go Paris cause ne ke lekile ka track yaanong ke bone ka re go a retelanyana mare ke tsaya ke re go Paris ke tlabe ke le go teng ka marathon because next day ke simolla marathon wa. se se ka lekang go baka ngwa tota ke mo mabelong a malele because ka re ga rena batho ba mabelo a malele mara ga go nna le di-competition mo Botswana o itlhela kete go na le batho mme ga ke itse gore go irwa ke eng go mo ga teng gore re palwa ke go qualifyela tsone di-game tse di tona re le ba mabelo a matelele maybe gongwe ke gore a ke itse gore di-coach or rona di-athlete ke rona re sa itsentsi mme ke tsaya ke re tla le ko re bone gore re ka ira ka tseleng tseng gore re kgone go qualify mme nna ya gompieno ke kitile ka thupana gore mangwe a rata kana ga a rate ke tlabe ke le ko Paris.
And one key issue that Matape has already alluded is that the private sector needs to come on board and ensure that they support or invest in sport in order for it to develop or to grow. And one thing that he also highlighted was the need for players across all different sporting code to work hard and ensure that they stand for their dreams or what they believe in. And now we move on into the segment that as a Discover the Sport, as we continue discovering the sport that is beach volleyball.
The second skill, we have the overhead pass, which usually is called or is popularly known as the volley, where you volley the ball overhead on your overhead. The overhead pass, which is the volley. Also, your feet are important to be positioned the right way, shoulder width apart, the basics. Your arms, your shoulders square to the net, and also your arms should be up above your head or at least at your eye level. And also you have to cover that ball with your hands, and you must not allow it to rest not more than half a second or 1 second. And then you go down a bit, bending down a bit, and then you execute going up. And then you follow through to the direction where you want to take that ball at. And we also have a tomahawk. A tomahawk, we will find that we find it in beach volleyball only. You don't use it in six-a-side. So the tomahawk is whereby you put your hands together like this, then you lock, then you hit the ball while it's over your head, more like a volley, but this time around you lock your hands and bump the ball. So then we move on to another skill, which is the spiking. The spiking or the hitting the ball, that is hit overhead, over the net. That is whereby after your setter sets the ball for you, you execute the right steps, right footwork, and then you spike the ball with an aim to score. Then we have another skill called the blocking skill. It's whereby the opponent wait for you to spike the ball, and then he tries to stop it over above the net. Whereby you spike, and then your opponent lift their hands up, trying to stop you from scoring on their side. For the blocker to execute it the right way, he has to front the attacker, like to be in line or directly opposite to the attacker, and then he waits. He doesn't just wait by standing, he goes down, and also advised to touch the sand even. Then waist there, looking at the attacker as he comes approaching to attack that ball. Then just at the time of contact, whereby when the attacker contacts that ball, that's when that blocker goes up and block that ball. So those are the beach volleyball skills that we needed to cover today.
Now we move into the segment of Women in Sports as we look at the cricket sports administrator by the name of Tenolo Ellen Harry.
My name is Tenela Ellen Harry, a cricket player and a team manager for the women's national team and a venue manager for the Africa World Cup T20 tournament. I started playing cricket at primary school. That time I was doing standard 6. I was only 11 and a half years old. I remember I used to see a group of boys playing using a ball and a bat. What is this all about? Then one day, the coach decided to form a team. Then I became one of the first girls who got a chance to be that part of that team. We started coming to Botswana Cricket Association every Saturdays. Most of that we were given free hot dogs after training. We travel across the world as under-19s, and with these girls that we've been playing with, especially the women's national teams, they are the same people that we started playing with them when we were under-13s. When I was 17 years old, that is 2015, I was selected to be team manager and a player at the same time. And that was so privileged for me because am I going to be able to handle pressure to manage batho, especially my age mates, even though I was the oldest in my team, and to be able to concentrate more on. But fortunate enough, I managed to do that. Then I continued being the team manager from 2017 till now, being as a team manager. Other countries, they don't really have the facilities but they put determination and everything at heart to play well. So with all that, we have to make use of what we have. What is our cricket providing? My highlight of my career. Okay, I would say my highlight, my most important highlight is when we used to play the Four Nations. We're playing against Namibia. Namibia has always been our rivals. And that time, you know, it was a very intense match that we're playing for the finals, and Botswana managed to scoop the cup for that time. That was 2015. And that was the most important thing that I realized that, wow. And ever since then, Namibia, they worked so hard to surpass us, but unfortunately with us, most of them, they started concentrating more into school and work. That also put a little bit pressure on cricket, so our performance got affected a bit. But yeah, that was the most important highlight I remember, because that was the most emotional game I've ever experienced. Like almost everyone was crying, and yeah. Hey, go balance cricket, tiro, le ko lapeng tota, it's not easy. And the other thing, most of that, I just had a baby. She's 1 year right now as we speak. It wasn't easy. I took a year off cricket just to focus on my child and my career. But I try my best. The little chance, because I have cricket at heart, the little chance that I get, I make use of it to come to the oval, to do a few things, few drills, few batting, few balls. And also that most of that now I'm involved with administration. If I have some paperwork to clear, I can always do them at the comfort of my home, trying to cover up for the little time that I have. But also to balance them all, it's not easy. It's impossible, but possible at the same time.
One thing that has been really amazing about tonight's episode is our ability to give you a variety of things that we felt were relevant in order for you to be able to celebrate what is currently happening in the blue, black and white. We gave you the champion by the name Sesebo Matapeng, a long distance runner, discovered the sport that is beach volleyball. We also looked at celebrating the participation of women in sports, looking or featuring a female player and also a sports administrator by the name of Tsenolo Ellen Hari. The show is called as Sportilicious. My name is Bukamoso Gnosi. Let's meet again next week.